podcast and here. Alright. You can start.
Good afternoon, everybody, and our viewers. You are welcome to the second series of our webinar lectures in Funaab, that is Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. I am Dr. Oluwaseyi Anjorin, the Acting Director of the Directorate of Health Services in the University. The topic before me today is to discuss on why must anyone, for that matter, die young. It is no more in news that many young people are falling sick and are dying at a very young age. And that has brought us to this particular point for us to discuss this particular topic. I want to state that categorically that your lifestyle largely determine your lifespan. Lifespan, I meant life expectancy. And healthy and a well-balanced lifestyle will result automatically or ultimately in an increase and quality lifespan. To look at a statistical data that we can actually talk about, as the public health physician, data is what we feed upon, and figures makes a lot of sense if well explained. How do I mean? The average lifespan or life expectancy at birth in the world today is 73 years. The highest of these we can find in a small country called Monaco, where the male life expectancy is 84 years and the female is 89 years. And we can find also that the next to Monaco are the East Asian countries, for instance, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Japan, with male life expectancy of 81 years and female 87 years. The lowest of all is found amidst us in Africa, that is in Lesotho, with male life expectancy for men of 50 years. In 2021, it will amaze us that in Nigeria, our life expectancy for male in Nigeria is 54 years, and for our female is 59 years. And the mortality rate, that is the death rate, for male adults is 386 per 1,000 male adults. For the female is 366 per 1,000 female adults. As a result of our tendency or the change in our lifestyle, this has brought us to this particular point that we are in. For instance, if I may make myself as an example, my own grandfather died at the age of 105, and my grandmother died at the age of 97. Presently, my father is 87 years, and he's still kicking. He's not even using glasses the way I'm using glasses. How do I mean? What has changed that is actually killing our young men and young women is a point of discourse for us today. If you want to live a longer life and you want to stay healthy, it's largely determined by your lifestyle. Lifestyle, basically, a very important aspect of lifestyle is our feeding, our eating habit. What is it that we are consuming? You are certainly a product of what you eat. The food we consume affect negatively and positively on our lifespan and the quality of life we are living. The question you might want to ask me today is, how can I live the longest of life and at the same time be healthy? I'm going to go into some points that we're going to discuss together. Number one, you need to get moving. How do I mean get moving? Don't live a sedentary lifestyle. Exercise more often. This exercise that we're talking about should be structured. That is, you must learn from the professionals on what and what to do. Why? Because we are different in our composition. Age is one. You cannot expect a full adult or an aged adult of 65 and above to still continue to exercise the way, or rigorous exercise the way a 40-year-old or even a 30-year-old person will do. So he needed to be guided, but still need to get fit. Brisk walking is one typical example. Walking can be termed as moving from one place to the other using your legs. But when we term brisk walking, it is purely defined. At least you must do 3 miles per hour while you are walking, or you do 100 steps per minute. That is the definition of brisk walking. But you and I understand also, even in taking those steps, that our body composition is different. So to some people it might be 100, some might be more than 100, some might be a bit less than 100. But the basic thing is you have to sweat it out. Another thing we can do is, many people are shy away from this sport they call swimming. Without mixing any word, when you take on swimming, is one of the most capable sports that involve the activity of the whole body. Our brain is involved, our balancing is involved, our muscles are involved. It's a complete sport. And what we are advocating is you must stay agile. You must improve your cardiopulmonary response. That is the in thing. Many of us, even though our BMI might be the same, might be of normal, we are not be overweight or obese. We might think we are okay, but I can assure you that until you are put to test to some exercise before you know whether you are fit or not. Many, they might look okay, but subject them to a series of exercise, they will start panting. It means you are not fit, and you need to get fit. Number 2 things that we needed to watch is what we eat, what we consume. This is very, very important. I make mention of my own family lineage. How God has been kind to them that they have this, they live long, this longevity. But I can assure you that my own dad have not slept in an hospital for 1 day that I know of. It's not that he doesn't visit, he visits doctors, they examine him, but he doesn't have any of either cardiac or kidney or pulmonary disease that I know of. No hypertension, no diabetics, no any metabolic disease that I know of. And sometimes I used to wonder, what is keeping these people on? Our sedentary life has really dealt a lot with us. And one of the things that we must watch is our food. Many of us, even as adults, we still indulge in taking what has caused or what is causing even our children some certain kind of ailments. How do I mean? Studies have shown that diabetics, that is hyperglycemia, has started occurring more in our children. Obesity, overweight, have started incurring more damages into our children. Why? Because of what we feed them. Many will say that, okay, they are children, let them have what they want to eat. That is not the life you're talking about. Their food must be balanced. And if you want to join me in this, you might well also be able to assure yourself or to tell me that your children have not asked you to buy them those foods like shawarma, sausages, processed foods, fast foods. Yes, it's not as if they should not eat at all. But the thing is, it shouldn't be their focal food. Our own natural food is full of natural things. that tends to help our body. But we have borrowed the life of the Caucasians more. It has borrowed more into our system, and that is what is causing us many diseases. For instance, colonic cancer, studies have shown that colonic cancer, that is cancer of the colon or the intestine, has become more. The incident level has increased in us. It is not really, colonic cancer is not really the disease of the blacks. It is more with the Caucasian, and it's typically because of the transient time that the broken food that they have eaten passed through in their intestine. Ours is full of more of legumes, more of vegetables that increase the transit time of the food in our intestine. That is what our parents, our grandparents are used to, and they live longer. But because of this change, I wouldn't call it influence. It is just the change in the natural food that we eat that we have replaced with more of processed foods that is causing us most of this problem. Having talked much of that, I'm going to number 3. Pay attention to your weight and your shape. How do I mean? Basically, weight is due to what we consume. Weight is due to sedentary life. Weight is due to non-performance when it comes to exercises. What we eat goes a long way. Why? Because if we eat in the morning, for instance, all of us who come to office or you go to your work, you live in, let me cite a typical example. You live in an AC environment. In your house, there is AC. From AC, you enter air-conditioned car that will bring you to work. In your office also, there is air condition. This tendency is, as a civil servant, many of us will sit at our desk for more than 8-9 hours, treating files and do what we're supposed to do legitimately. But we have forgotten that life, of sedentary life, accumulates and causes us more ill health than we actually think. Now, weight. How do you know if you are overweight or not? You need to calculate what we call BMI. BMI simply is what we call body mass index. Your weight in kg divided by your height in meters squared, it will get you what your BMI is. And now, any calculation that you have done that is less than 18.5 is definitely underweight. From 18.5 to 24.9, that is normal for anybody. From 25 to 29.9, that is overweight. And anything above 30 is obese. Now you can calculate your own, as I have spoken. Very easy, and you can do it much often for you to know exactly what your BMI is. Number 4, please don't use tobacco. Don't smoke or don't use any tobacco. Studies have shown, from medical studies, it has shown that 99.9% of all cancers, smoking, cigarette smoking or tobacco use is implicative. Now you might ask me something, because some people have that slogan that something is going to kill a man. Then my answers to them is very simple. Must you kill yourself? Must you die young? Is it necessary for you to be the orchestra of your own life? Must you take your own life yourself by indulging in things that studies have shown are killers? Number 1 is smoking. So please, if you are into it, try as much as possible to stop the use of tobacco or to stop smoking totally. Stop taking alcohol, or you reduce it to the minimum. Alcohol also is implicative in many metabolic diseases. Number 4 that I'm going to talk about is stop taking psychoactive drugs or mixtures, the ones they call bogboniche. There are so many names for them. I'm not even talking about the illicit drugs outside. No, I'm talking about psychoactive. And all these mixtures that we find in garages, and so people just hawk up and down. If you love yourself, why? Because every drug that we take is being processed by our body. The liver is going to break them down, then going to get excreted by the kidney. If you load the liver above the level that it can take, you will kill the liver. And if you load the kidney above what it can take, for instance, studies have shown again that in this climate that we find ourselves, many are developing renal disease, that is kidney diseases. And all is culminating to what we are consuming. Part of it is what we are mentioning here. Please stop self-medication. Stop self-medication. If anything is wrong with you, get to your doctor, let them prescribe for you. Every drug, I maintain, every drug has a sense of poison in them. But we, as medical sciences, we have found out which one, the dosage, that's why we call it the dosage. The dosage that is good for the body to take care of. But if you are self-medicating, you might not just know those dosage. You might use above the normal, and that will create a problem for you. Number 5, keep exercising and keep exercising. We cannot overemphasize on keeping active life. Number 6, be good and be kind to yourself. I'm going to dwell a little more on this. Please treat yourself well. Go on vacation if the need arises and relax. Visit recreational centers. Enjoy yourself. You know, one thing that we have taken for granted is we always believe that, especially women, in as much as possible, that we are the leaders in our home and we are the breadwinners. Also, some women also are taking over this particular phenomenon of the breadwinner. But whatsoever it is that the breadwinner at home, I want to advise you, your family needs you more than you ever think about. Don't drop dead on them. Take time to relax. Men, take time to relax on your own. Visit places. Enjoy yourself. Why? Because the time is ticking. And you might think, oh, I want to provide for my family. You might even quote the Bible that someone that cannot provide for his family, the Bible says, is an infidel. It is quite right. It is quite right. I'm not debating that. You must provide for your family. But in providing for your family, also take time to provide for yourself. Many of us men, when have you have time to even buy yourself good shirt, good trouser? You say, my children's school fees is there. My children's school fees are there. These ones are there. Those are responsibilities that will always be there. But you must take good care of yourself. You need to relax the more. You need to see the world. Put on a charming smile. How do I mean? Always smile. Happiness, actually, they say, is determined by the conditionality of man, but joy is from the heart. Please keep joy alive. Things might not go well the way you want it to go, but let me assure you, if you have the joy inside of your heart, you always beam a smile. And those that smile, studies have shown that wrinkles doesn't come to their faces in time. They live longer with their faces still intact without any wrinkle. So smile, because when you are smiling, the facial muscles they are relaxed. They are not tensed. But the moment you start squeezing your face, or you are annoyed and you are squeezing your face, you are putting those muscles under tense. And once they are tense, they tend to wear out. That is another secret I want you to take along. All right. Get regular medical checkup. Get regular medical checkup. After about 35 to 40, please visit your doctor. Do a routine check. Do it every 2 years. By the time you are 50, make sure you do it every 1 year. When you are above 65, make it 6 months. You might think, to do a routine test, this thing costs money. Yes, I tell people that all of us are educated. Why? Because you felt ignorance. There is no price that you can attach to ignorance. But then, when you do this routine check, don't try ignorance. It is better for you to check so that we will detect most of those silent killers in time and we can treat them or we can weed them off. Many of the tests that you can do is listed. Visit your doctor, they will list the routine tests for you. Lastly, I want to talk on you must have adequate sleep. Many people do not understand the importance of sleep. Sleep is highly, very, very important. When you sleep well, for an average adult, you must sleep averagely 6 to 7 hours per night. The dosage, the little sleep that occur during the day is not counted. But sleep well during the night. Create a routine for yourself. As an adult, at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep is good. Not just any kind of sleep. I maintain good sleep where you have time to dream. It is when you are dreaming, that dream phase. I don't want to go into the physiology of sleep because time will not permit me. But then, it is while you are having good sleep that your worn out cells, the cells that you have gone out with, the one that has already worn out during the day, that your body will start replenishing them. Your body will start replacing them when you have good sleep. And that is the reason why many will sleep and they wake up with headache. Why? They've not had enough sleep. What the body is supposed to have restored has not yet fully been restored. Now, have a sleep routine. How do I mean? You go to bed at the same time. You can get a sleep journal. Write the timing you are going to sleep, write it down. The time you wake up, write it down. Put them together, minus and plus. You must, if you have 6 to 7 hours, you are doing well. Maintain it like that. But have that journal, the routine. Routine means something that someone has done. It has become an habit in you. So once you have that habit of going to sleep around 9 o'clock and for you to wake up around 5, I can assure you there is the tinkling thing in your brain. You don't need any alarm again. After you have done it consistently, your body will wake you up. Your body wants to sleep at that time, and you have already created a routine for yourself. Regularity of sleep pattern will definitely improve the quality and the quantity and the quality of our sleep. That is what is going to help us for our body to replace our worn out cells. Now, in rounding up, I want to advise us that there is no price that we can attach to quality life. There is no price. If you are able to do this little that we have mentioned, although we are still going to come back on some other series in this particular webinar series, these lectures of ours, to explain more and more on what we needed to do so that our quality of life will be improved and will have increased lifespan. I want to indulge us that nothing will deprive you. Please, anywhere that you are, engage yourself in little exercises, but let it be structured. Meet with the professionals. They will tell you, structure it for you so that you will not overdo. What's supposed to be good for you will not turn out to be bad. Thank you so much for listening. All right, okay. There is a question here. The question said, can having sex, okay, is sex part of exercise? How long or how many times one should have sex in a week medically? Yes, as a doctor, I will tell you that if I need to go into sleep very well, one of the things that will make a man or a woman to sleep without using any kind of medication is sex. If you have a very good sex, you will sleep like a baby. So the question there is, how many times is advocated? It depends on individual. And don't misquote me. Sex is good for both male and female. Sex will relax your body. Why? Because the endorphins, those are the hormones that is being secreted during sex. We call them natural sleep hormone. It makes you to sleep well. Not only that, now coming to the time depends on individual. But we in medicine, we advocate twice, depending on you. For instance, a young adult of 40 years, you cannot compare a sex life or a sex drive with somebody that is above 65 and 70. So you must know yourself. And since it is two of you, you and your wife or your spouse, I presume, You must know what you want, what she wants. If she's the type that wants it more, please try and give her more. Also, not enraging yourself. Thank you so much. Yeah.